I'm Jenny Adrift. Welcome to Season 1 of Adrift Again, where I'll be spending my first winters solo in a camperized van and heading south to escape the cool Alberta temperatures. Which is where this story begins. After a long season working at the lodge, I have finally come home to my parents' house, where I'll be seeing my new van in person for the very first time. I found it on Facebook Marketplace, a Ford Transit that a young couple had converted into this cozy little camper. Under the bed, there are two 300-liter storage bins. It's insulated with rock wool and reflective aluminum insulation, and it even has a 5-kilowatt diesel heater that's powered by a Renogy AGM 200 amp-hour battery. It also has a 1,000-watt inverter, and this panel with switches for everything, including the 35-liter compressor fridge that will be keeping all of my food cold. It also came with 2 propane burners and a 10-pound propane tank that sits in the front seat. My mom's now helping me take the mattress out so I can start the process of painting, which actually began at the home building center in town, where I picked out a couple colors that they mixed up for me. Now it's time to start taping, which is a slow job, but I find something so satisfying about the clean lines that will be left behind. If I put the hard work in now, I could be a little sloppy with the paint. And one last thing to do before I start painting, and that's to remove the burners completely. I don't love how much space they take up, and I have a different idea for this space. Plus, I wasn't super keen on having a propane bottle riding up front with me. Easy fix. Now to remove this little shelf with more tools that I'm borrowing from my dad's garage before bringing the van over to our neighbor's house, who is a carpenter and has agreed to build me this awesome shelf. Now the painting process can begin with the primer. I've got to get as much done as possible because the temperatures need to be at least 10 degrees Celsius for the paint to cure properly. And with October rolling in, I'm going to be tight for time. The good news though is that this primer dries pretty quickly, so I can get the 2 coats on without too much waiting around before moving on to the paint. I've picked a nice light color, and since there are no windows in the van, it really helps make the space feel brighter and more open. I also added this little pop of color on the cupboards. My dad double-checked all the fluids and made me a little toolkit, and even put up a personalized Jenny Adrift plate. After painting and working on the van, I also make sure to take some breaks. Time to snuggle with the cat and refuel. I want to knock out some Amazon orders and research more about the things I'm going to need. Did you know that in Alberta, a customized camper van like this one actually needs to be appraised before getting full insurance? It's going to cost me around $500, and it's not super easy to find someone who does custom appraisals. Meanwhile, I started receiving packages in the mail, like this Rhino Rack batwing awning that I plan to have installed today. I headed on a 2-hour drive down to South Edmonton to AQ Outdoors for the installation, and I saw a bull elk on the way. But when we arrived to the appointment, I saw a note on the door saying that the employee was sick today, so we had to turn back home. But not before stopping at the Hutterite colony to pick up a few things, including their last batch of corn of the season. The man working there even gave us a nice steaming piece to try. The following day, I made the drive again, and this time, everything went smoothly. Andy was already waiting there and promptly had my crossbars waiting to be installed so that I can attach the awning. I also had a Thule rooftop basket ordered and installed for extra storage space. It was so nice to have my mom there to stand around in the alley with. Finally, the awning goes up and I'm so excited to try it out. The YouTube videos I watched made it look pretty easy to set up. And just like that. Super easy and so much coverage. Putting it away was just as easy, although I am going to need to get myself a step ladder so that I could reach the straps. Today the wind is so strong. and the leaves that have been holding on so tightly to the branches are finally letting go. There's something so beautiful about this transition time, the way that nature lets go of the old to make way for the new. I've realized over the years that I find comfort in the change. Instead of resisting it, I choose to lean into it, even when it's uncomfortable. And trust me, it's uncomfortable. Now let's get back to work. Time is running out.
Well, what's next?
Mom's helping me move the mattress.
Move the mattress. Fold, yep, good, fold,
Too much because of the shelf.
There we go.
There.
It's now been over a year since I've fully gone through my storage locker, so it's time to see if there's anything I'm ready to part with or anything I'd like to bring with me this year. It's nice to see all these things again. I forgot I had this jacket. I think I've got everything I need now. We'll see you again next year, locker. When I'm in town, I always plan as many family visits as possible, and today that looks like 9 holes of golf with my dad, my mom, and my 2 nieces. The farmers' fields are now bare, and flocks of geese have begun migrating south. Some nights get cold enough to even give us snow, and in the mornings it's really frosty. I've come into town one last time to fill my diesel heater and to fuel up the van itself because I'll be leaving soon. There's a lot to organize in the van, but first things first, I want to try out this heater and see just how cozy it is. Luckily, the previous owners sent me some instructional videos about this because honestly, I would have no clue. But I'm learning, and it feels good. You know what else feels good? This heater. Okay, organize the space, and then start saying goodbye to the comforts of home. I'll miss this place so much, but I have a calling, and the most loving and supportive parents in the world. They would always tell me, it's not goodbye, it's just see you later. And although I know what they mean, it doesn't make the ache in my chest any less painful. This feeling comes from knowing what it's like to be held, to be cared for and seen. When I'm with my parents, I have people who lift me up, who listen, who nurture. It's a rare and precious thing, and leaving that behind, even knowing I'll come back, it's hard. But life is calling. I have dreams and a path I want to follow. Staying here forever means staying still, and I'm not made for stillness. So I carry their love with me. It gives me courage to step out into the unknown. I start my move again, crossing the prairies towards the Rocky Mountains. This first part of my trip will take me to Vancouver, where I'll be flying back up to the lodge for just over a week, and I'll be cooking for the crew who are working the egg take for the Percy Walkus Hatchery. I fuel up in Hinton, and now you can start to see the mountains. Soon we'll be in Jasper, where almost always you'll see mountain sheep on the side of the highway. The drive to Vancouver is about 1,000 kilometers or 620 miles roughly, so I am not doing this all in one go. I've decided to stop tonight in Little Fort, a tiny community tucked in the North Thompson Valley. With a population of around 350 people, it's quiet, and it's definitely got a certain charm. After chatting with the server last night at the High Five Diner, she told me just to spend the night here, so that's what I did.
Good morning! First night in the van and I didn't freeze. I did have to get up and turn the van on through the night once just so that I was comfortable, but I wouldn't usually be crawling through here and turning the van on. I would usually be turning my diesel heater on in the back. but I don't have a CO2 detector set up yet, so that's one thing I want to do. I've got everything I need in here, but I don't really know exactly how everything works quite yet. There's some levers, there's some buttons, and I don't know if I should push them or not. I really don't know. I've got this one here. It's probably for the lights out front. There's a light bar, and then I've got this one here. There's like all these auxiliary buttons, and there's 4. This one says inverter 120 volts. So does this turn my inverter on in the back, I wonder? And then what? So these are some things. I have questions. This was the tough part about not actually talking to the people face to face who I bought this vehicle from. They sent me some videos, some very helpful videos of how some of the things worked, but I still feel like I'm missing some things. There's supposed to be Bluetooth, which I haven't figured out. There's supposed to be a CO2 detector and a fire detector. Haven't seen those. Just little things that I don't feel like 100% yet. So we're gonna get there. We're gonna head into Merritt this morning and go get a few of these things.
We are now traveling down my favorite highway, the 5A, which is the old highway that connected Kamloops and Merritt. The speed limit is slower on this highway. It's full of twists and turns and amazing views that you're meant to take it slow, to notice and enjoy. And now for a trip down memory lane. 3 of the houses that I used to live in, all because I started work here at this hotel back in 2014. I wonder if any of those past Jennies would believe where the current Jenny is now. All right, enough with the sentimental stuff. Let's go shopping. What have you got for me today, Walmart? Carbon monoxide detector, check. Motion lights, check. Phone holder, Bluetooth, command strips, check. And this really cute USB lamp and maybe a fluffy unicorn pillow. No. No. All right, we got what we need. Let's head down to the coast and visit some lodge family. I'll be spending my second night in Langley tonight, so I can visit my girl Sharon. She lives just a couple blocks away from the casino, and most casinos allow you to park for free overnight. Always go in and double check with somebody that you're allowed, just so you don't get the dreaded knock, which is somebody waking you up in the middle of the night because they don't want you parked there. We went to Stevens, where we enjoyed a couple cocktails and a birria grilled cheese. Yum! Later, back at her place, we set up for a paint night and ended up creating these dreamy night sky scenes. We also played a game of FU, which I played the very next night with Ted and Lori. My third night will be spent here at their place in Delta. It's early morning, October 17th, and we're on our way to Seair Seaplanes in Richmond, getting ready to board a flight north to Rivers Inlet. This is where we'll meet up with the crew helping out with the annual egg take for the Percy Walkus Hatchery. The wind is blowing hard this morning, and you can see the planes struggle as they come into land. We're boarding a 9-seat Cessna 208 Caravan, one of those classic bush planes that always feels like the start of an adventure. I can't help but feel the familiar mix of excitement and gratitude to be heading back to Good Hope Cannery. It's a strange thing when the most remote place I know feels like home. A place that's so steady and grounding, and where fully guided adventures in the Great Bear Rainforest are just a part of my life. Ted and Dwayne aren't just co-workers, they're family, and getting to reconnect with them feels like reconnecting with a part of myself that only exists up here. Even after 8 years, this journey still takes my breath away. Watching the coast unfold below us as we fly by mountaintops, that'll never get old. We've arrived at the Cannery, and Chris, the winter watchman, is already on the dock waiting for us. Now it's time to unload the gear and groceries. I've got to get this fridge organized and do an inventory so I could make sure I've got enough food to feed 15 people for possibly 10 days. Meanwhile, the crew have all geared up and are already on their way to the Wannock River aboard the Weekeno Princess. And after about a 30-minute boat ride, they arrive and dock at the village. The crew all pile onto a couple trucks that take them further up the river, past the big house where Hosendas stands. The road narrows, and soon it's just thick, moss-covered trees surrounding them. Eventually, they unload again, transferring all the supplies onto the jet boats that will take them the final stretch down the river to the egg take shack. My day looks a little different. At 5:45, I get into the kitchen and start the water to boil, turn the oven and the flat top on. Breakfast consists of eggs, meats, hash browns, French toast, and I carry it all over to the Hilton. That's where we have running water and heat. The crew gear up in chest waders and rain jackets before the princess comes to pick them up. I pack their lunch in a cooler: deli meats, hot dogs, cheese, buns, granola bars, fruits, and cookies. Then I set it outside so they can grab it on their way out. And once they're gone, cleanup begins. I boil a big pot of water to wash dishes. And then I bring them back to the staff quarters. I prep coffees for the next morning and wipe down the counters and tables. Then I can do a little vacuum. I empty garbage and recycling before getting into the bathrooms to freshen them up. But today, something's not right here. No running water means no washing, no drinking, and no flushing. It was one of those moments where I realized just how important it is to adapt. Sometimes up here, you've got to put in some extra work to make things happen. When things don't go as planned, you find another way. Carrying this water is more than just a chore. It's a little reminder of what it takes to live simply, to stay humble, and to keep things running even when it isn't easy. Luckily, I don't have to carry up every bucket myself. The guys have been refilling the buckets for us, and Duncan B. Lodge brought over bottled water so that we can drink and wash the dishes. We made do with what we had for 3 days before the water pump was replaced. Now let's finish dinner. The guys radio in when they're close, and when they arrive, they bring back water jugs and their lunch cooler, which I unpack and clean. At 6:30, I make my way over to the Hilton with dinner, and it quickly gets devoured by the crew while they rest and enjoy some well-deserved downtime. By 7:30, I can finally call it a night. This morning, we woke up to severe weather warnings. The winds were gusting 70 knots and broke one of the boom chains holding the Grizz shack to the fuel dock. The guys rushed over to move it back and attach a new chain. We lowered one down to them, and they worked fast. Within minutes, the shack was secured again. Good work, team. The next day was still wet and rainy, but the wind had calmed down and the crew was actually able to make it out to the river. But once they made it back, they realized it had risen 3 feet after the storm. The holding tubes and buck pen that get submerged every night were now much deeper and harder to reach. Jay made his way over to the tubes while the boats did their best to find the pen, which got pushed down the river and eventually broke apart. Luckily, the tubes holding the female Chinook were gathered and brought back to safety. When the females are ready to release their eggs, their bellies feel a little bit jelly. She's brought up to the shack where the eggs are then collected. Each fish is measured and recorded before the samples are taken. Small tissue and scale samples are also collected to help identify the age and lineage, information that helps support future salmon runs. By midday, it's time for a break. The fire gets built up for us to roast some dogs, a simple warm lunch to keep everyone going through the rain. Spirits are high and everything's going well. The crew's had a successful day so far, but there's still a lot of work ahead. It takes around 40 Chinook females to collect the 300,000 eggs needed each fall. So the guys head back out for possibly the final set of the day. On Ted's mark, the guys start throwing out the gill nets, while the assisting boat makes its way over to grab the other end and ties it off. Once the floats on the net start submerging, it's time to bring the two ends together. Dwayne is using a pole to scare the fish into the nets, and then they can start pulling them into the boat. So many little things can go wrong here. With ropes, nets, and moving boats, there's always a risk. So they have to stay focused and work as a team, which they are very good at. The crew has done it. They've collected all the eggs needed for the hatchery this year. And after posing with a few of these giants, we prepared to head home. Ted's taking a few of us back up the river to the trucks, and the rest of the crew will meet us at the dock in the village. Some of the community members will also be meeting us at the village to pick up some meat. Nothing here goes to waste. Now we can head back to the lodge right before it gets too dark. The following morning, we gathered to say goodbye as the planes began to arrive. I've gotten to meet so many incredible people on this trip that it's kind of sad to say goodbye so soon. But it's time to move on to the next adventure. We say goodbye to Chris, the winter watchman, and board the plane that's taking us back to the real world. Goodbye, Good Hope. See you next year. I want to thank all my channel members for your continued love and support, and thank you all so much for watching. Take care until next time.